Previously on Let's Play Steins Gate Zero.
Oh my goodness. Maho nodded and pushed the central button, managing to move the arm directly over a target. She smiled, satisfied. It's simple. Now you just wait for the arm to automatically grab it, right? Oh, well, normally, yeah. The arm went straight for the doll, but the angle was slightly off and it didn't grab it right. Oh! That doesn't make sense. What just happened?
And now, back to everyone being sad.
Hello, everybody. Pokey here, with another episode of Steins Gate Zero. And, when we last left off, we had a very delightful experience. I will happily say that that was probably the best episode I've, had the joy of experiencing so far. I don't know if, something else will be able to stop that, but I'm excited to find out, even though things are probably going to get sad pretty fast here. So let's just get right into it. I'd gone up to the roof several times since then. The time machine was there, and Suzuha and Daru would go up once in a while to do maintenance. Just a few days ago, Suzuha had called me out there and pointed a gun in my face. But even so, I'd never been to that storeroom on the 8th floor where it had happened. I couldn't bring myself to do it. Just remembering what happened was enough to cause a severe flashback. There was no way I could visit the site of her death. Are you okay? You look really pale. Are you thinking about Kurisu? Yeah, I guess so. You don't have to come with me if it's going to be hard for you. I'll go by myself. But her face was colorless. Going there had to be hard on her too. But even so, she was trying to come to grips with Kurisu's death. I wanted to go help her remember our friend. The radio building was going to be renovated. There wasn't a lot of time. No, I'll go with you. Good on you, man. Half of the shops had already been moved to another building to make way for the renovation. But many of the shops on the 7th floor were still open. Oh, I remember this place. 6 months ago, on July 28th, I killed Kurisu on the floor just above where I was standing. With my own hands. Is this the place? No, it happened on the next floor. That's what I was told. I wasn't supposed to have been at the scene of Kurisu's death. I'd already asked Mayuri and Daru not to tell anyone. What's upstairs? What's upstairs? I mean, obviously she knows what I'm talking about. Sorry about that. An event hall and some storerooms and stuff. Can we go up there? It should be off limits right now. But the rope that always blocked off the way to the 8th floor wasn't there today. I could hear loud voices and laughter from above. Since it was a day off, there must have been some kind of event going on upstairs. It looks like it's okay. Maho headed up the stairs first. I slowly dragged myself up the stairs. Passed by the event hall into the back. It looked like there was no one around. Nothing had changed in 6 months. This is it. Ugh. Here we are again. There were no lights on and the place seemed dark and lonely. This time, the storeroom was locked. I see, so it was a place like this. I could see her lips trembling as she whispered. It seemed strange. This was the place where Kurisu had died, covered in blood, and yet nearby, the rest of the world continued on like it didn't care. Now I'd come back even though this was where the one I loved had died. It's frustrating. I'm not a physicist, so I don't know all there is to know about relativity theory, but if space and time are essentially the same thing, then why can't we move through time as easily as we can move through space? Spatially, we're on the same axis as Kurisu's death, but that tiny little gap on the temporal axis means there's nothing we can do about it. Woof. You asked Kurisu, the Amadeus Kurisu, an interesting question before. Whether it was possible to create a time machine. Yeah. I'd love it if you could look into it. I'd volunteer for the first man test. Oh. I couldn't tell from the tone of her voice if she was serious or joking. She laughed sadly. Time machines are real, and there's one right above us. What would she do if I told her that? Would she blame me for giving up on saving Kurisu and say she'd go back to the past herself? Okabe, can you tell me about how Kurisu died? I don't know the details. I don't really know myself. Didn't I tell you that before? But you know more than I do, right? I was in America. What was Kurisu doing in a place like this? On the day she died, there was an event going on like the one happening now, right? We could hear the occasional sounds of laughter coming from the event hall. Dr. Nakabachi, it made the news last summer. I heard that he sought asylum in Russia and he wrote a paper on time machines. Supposedly, the paper itself was terrible. Oh, my heart. But that made me remember something. Those guys who set fire to Kurisu's house in America were speaking Russian. Is that a coincidence, you think? I think the two events are connected somehow. So I decided to look into Dr. Nakabachi, but strangely there's barely any information on him. If you look online, you won't even find his real name. Most blogs and websites that talked about Dr. Nakabachi are gone now, and all of them disappeared in the last 6 months. Tell me, what the hell was Kurisu caught up in? Is it perhaps still going on? Are you hiding something? I feel like... I don't know. I should probably say this now before we go into actual... see whether or not it happens, but I really think Rintaro should probably just go all out and tell Maho most of the stuff that's going on. Because I feel like we can trust her. I mean, obviously I can trust her because I have the liberty of being the player, so obviously I know that she's a good guy. But I think Rintaro is also at a point where he probably wouldn't be much harm in telling Maho. I mean, I think that's what I would do. Her eyes were pure and sought the truth. Kurisu used to get that exact same look in her eyes all the time. But you shouldn't get involved out of curiosity. I'm done with all this. It's too late, I'm already involved. And I've been wondering if the reason we were attacked before wasn't because of me. Because of you? Is there a reason someone would come after you? And then she paused for a moment. I have some of Kurisu's belongings. The music just cut out. That was creepy. Belongings? Some of Kurisu's belongings? What did she mean? Maho had said that after Kurisu died, she'd gone to her home in America and received some of her belongings from her mom. Was she saying now that the attack was because of that? My mind began to race. Russia, where Dr. Nakabachi had sought asylum. The people who attacked Kurisu's home spoke Russian. Just a few days ago, the creepy music. A few days ago, the Russians, probably, had experimented with changing the past. Suzuha had said that World War III would be set off by the time machine. The time machine. Nakabachi's paper? The paper he'd written about the time machine, the cause of the Third World War. A miraculous, nightmarish paper which would cause the deaths of 5.7 billion people. The time machine he discussed at at his press conference was a rip-off of John Teeter's. But the one in his paper was different. I'd never managed to read it, though. But my guess was that Karisu had shown him the original that she'd written on July 28th, and his paper was an inferior copy. Karisu had written down instructions for making a time machine. I shuddered. I quickly booted up the Rhine program on my smartphone. I paged through my chat logs. Oh! That hard drive and that laptop contained the data for the original version of Nakabachi's paper. Maybe Karisu's paper. Oh, so that's what this is about. Super hacker. Karisu's laptop and hard drive, which were given to Daru. Was the person who gave them to him? I looked at Maho. She looked back at me without smiling. And she nodded. Yeah, it was me. Oh, let's keep going. This is weird. From Maho's perspective, there were too many things about Karisu's death that didn't make sense. Maybe that was why she had decided to look into why Karisu was killed. Of course, she'd assumed there were hints hidden inside her laptop and hard drive. But if my hypothesis was right, that laptop was too dangerous to be allowed to exist. It was Pandora's box. That's the name of the chapter, right? With the power to unleash the Third World War. Why didn't you tell me? At first, I didn't know that you and Nishida were friends. It was really just a coincidence that I gave it to him. And it seemed to me like you were hiding something about Karisu. Do you really think I'd tell you everything? It wasn't that I didn't trust you, but I thought it would be best to be cautious when it came to Karisu. Yeah, you were right about that. Was letting me test Amadeus part of your plot? Don't call it a plot. You were Karisu's friend, and I just wanted to know more about you. To find Karisu's secrets? I wanted to know more about her. She glared right back as if challenging me. Has Daru cracked it yet? Not yet. That's why I wanted to talk to you before I headed back to America. So that's why she brought me here. I needed to call Daru right now. Phone or Rhine, which was better? Yes? Hello? You at the lab right now? No. Then where are you? At home. Fapping to H games. Thank you. Thank you for making me say that out loud, Daru. What's up? I want to talk to you about your part-time job. Oh, that? Remember any info on Akiseshi? Yeah. Of course, that was a lie. He could be in danger if I didn't get that laptop back right now. I glanced over at Maho. Can you send it over Rhine then? Let's talk in person. Can you meet me at the lab? I'm all tied up right now. Can it wait till evening? You can play your H games later, man. My bad. I lied about the H games. I'm actually busy at my job. Your job? Well, I was lying to him too, so I didn't really have room to talk. Okay, where are you really? If you can't leave, I'll come to you. I just need to talk to you right now. I really didn't want to tell you. I do a lot of dangerous work. Well, whatever, fine. Come to the address I'm about to give you. The location he gave me was still in Akihabara. It was less than 5 minutes away. If something occurs to me, I know that this game has multiple endings, so, I wonder, when Rentaro was like, phone or Rhyme, which is better, I half expected it to give me sort of a choice. and it didn't. And I'm wondering if I had pressed like the B button or something while I was calling, would it have canceled the call and I could have used Ryan? In that case, like if I had the choice, I would have probably used Ryan because we know it's secure because it's like Daru made it. But I don't know. I don't know if it actually matters. Down an alley, a few turns off main strip, all the hustle and bustle of the crowd completely disappears. We were on the 7th floor of an old mixed-use building. We were in Akihabara, the center of Tokyo, in the middle of the day on Sunday. Still in the alleyway we come in seemed lonely and abandoned. There we found the shop Daru had told us about. Whoa. Silly music. I can't read Japanese. Yet. I'm working on it. What the? Shoot. Now I gotta... Nope. That's a quick save. Oh, this is always gonna be the death. Whew. I made it. Alright. Someone ride me. I'm out shopping with Luca. Do you want to come... that's 2 different people. Do you want to come join us, Okabe? Sorry, a bit busy now. Where are you? I'll meet up later. This one... Not this one. Well, I am busy, so I'll say I'll meet up later. Really? Where are you now? Akihabara. Then should we meet you in Akihabara once we're done shopping? No, I'm heading home once I'm done. Meet me there. Don't come to Akihabara under any circumstances. Why? Because I say so. Just wait for me. If I don't contact you by evening, give up and go home. Got it? What happened? I'm fine, don't worry. Okay, if you say so, Oak Green. We'll wait until evening. See you later, okay? Well, that was nice. There was a cute anime-style sign on the steel door that read Cosplay Media at Akihabara. We're open. Come on in. Whoa. The store is jammed full of cosplay outfits. The wall near the entrance held the new arrivals corner and popular cosplay sections, as well as cosplay wigs, ribbons, jewelry, and props. The other wall held the used outfits section and a shoe section stocked with socks, school shoes, heels, and boots. Even further back, I could see rows of school swimsuits and competition swimming outfits. Looked like the place you sold mainly to girls, but this clearly wasn't a location where women would feel comfortable. The other tenants in the building were all shady shops with names like Drops of the Spirit God Inc., Space Radio Receiver Sales, and Flower Petal Video Project. You ever been here before? No, last time we met it was in a different building. It wasn't much better than this one, though. I see. I felt like I'd seen Daru's dark side. The shop was completely silent. There were no customers other than us. There was a thin man with long hair at the counter who looked like he was working there, but he didn't even raise his head up from his magazine when we came in. To be honest, ever since I'd entered, I'd worried that someone would think I was up to something illegal. Anybody who saw me would think I was a pervert taking a middle school girl to a shady cosplay shop. Hey, Oak Green, over here! Daru appeared from the back of the shop. There had been no sign of him a second ago. Wait, Maho-tan's with you too, huh? Would you stop calling me Maho-tan? Why? It's cute! I feel like I'm being insulted. Forget that. Where did you come from, Daru? The man at the counter hadn't said anything, which meant they knew he was here. Come with me. Daru headed to the back of the store. One of the rows of hanger racks holding idle cosplay outfits was pulled forward, and behind it I could see a curtain. Past the curtain was a tiny space that led to a door marked Staff Only. If the hanger rack hadn't been moved, I'd have no idea this was here. It's like an old ninja mansion. What? Whoa. Behind the door was a cramped office. Well, no, the room itself may have been pretty big, but the darkness made it feel very cramped. It was honestly hard to breathe. There were 4 desks in the center surrounded by metal racks. The desks and floor were piled high with all manner of computers and peripherals. There were boxes and bags littered everywhere. I couldn't tell if they were trash or not. There were towers of magazines, games, plastic models, and figure boxes. And the desk was covered in garbage just like the one at the lab. A button. My A button just keeps not working for like a couple seconds. It was too dark to tell, but I was sure the figures he had on display were covered in dust. And what did he need 6 monitors for anyway? Each of them displayed an image of the store. Evidently it was footage from a security camera. Given the size of the store and the lack of customers, even 3 cameras would have been too many. Well, sit down, I guess. There's no place to sit down. I'll make you a space. Daru kicked aside the boxes on the floor to make room and then sat down 2 folding chairs. What's the deal with you in the shop? I'm kind of like the leader of us part-timers. I work for a lot of underground places like this. And so sometimes they let me use their offices like this. For your secret job? Yep. Maybe there was a lot more to Daru than I thought. Is all this stuff in here yours? Nope, it's shared with the rest of the part-timers. I don't have enough money to buy all this stuff. Or so he said, but who knew if that was true? What the? Excuse me? Call from Kurisu. What is it? You're still with Maho, right? Oh, yeah, we're together. Why? What's up? I just heard from Dr. Leskinen. The office in Wako City's been ransacked by someone. What? What? And he just got a call from Maho's hotel. Someone raided it too. This is pretty bad. What did he say? You should hear from Dr. Leskinen soon, but I wanted to tell you ASAP. Oh. Thanks, Kurisu. Daru and I are looking out for Hyajo, so don't worry. That's right. I'm counting on you guys. Bye. Maho looked down and bit her lip. This is what I was afraid would happen. They're after Kurisu's laptop and hard drive. Huh? Seriously? I'd say it like that. Seriously? We should probably move. I think this place is safe, though. I've got a bad feeling. Intuition, you could call it. Got it. Oh, and where's the laptop and hard drive? Daru sighed and grabbed a locked, fire-resistant case off one of the racks. He opened it. Is that where he hid it? The laptop was a deep red Japanese model with a 12-inch LCD screen. The hard drive was American, from a brand known for equipping its hard drives with a shock-resistant rubber case. Let's take it and get out of here. Both Maho and Daru nodded silently. As soon as we left the building, I could see a car coming down the empty alleyway. It was a big American RV. We quickly hid ourselves in the shadow of another building. My intuition was right. The RV stopped in front of the building we just left. 3 men came out. None of them were Japanese. They were all dressed in black suits, almost like MIBs. Whatever they weren't Akihabara tourists. That was close. Maho went pale when she saw the men go into the building. She seemed to be shaking a little too. This is like a movie. I can't believe it's real. How'd they find out about that place, though? You sure you didn't screw up somehow, Daru? Who do you think I am? A super hacker, right? Hacker, right. I make sure I don't get caught. Either that or Hyajo and I were tailed. Don't scare me. They raided your office and hotel room in Wako City, and I'm sure they've been watching you this whole time. Oh, right. Oh, seemed to suddenly remember something. She took out her smartphone and made a call. I need to contact the professor. You should tell him to hide somewhere for today. If we meet up with him, it could put him in danger. Maho nodded. Ooh, Mahona. Rentaro took Maho to Ferris Nyan Nyan's home. It was on the top floor of a high-rise building in the center of Akihabara. If nothing else, it was sure to be more secure than the ancient building they'd just been in. Ferris welcomed the two of them, offering them food and a place to sleep. Daru returned alone to the Future Gadget Lab to meet up with Suzuha. Whoa, this is pretty cool, like, we get to interact with Rentaro as someone else. The mere existence of this laptop could bring disaster. We should get rid of it. Once they both calmed down, she started to talk to him about what they were going to do with Kurisu's computer. He didn't budge an inch. Usually he was an introvert who'd never pushed too hard for anything, but this time he was extremely stubborn. Of course, so was Maho. I at least want to crack the password and see what's inside. Right now we can't do that, but there's no time for that. We should get rid of it now. The best thing would be to destroy it. Destroy it? But this is something Kurisu left us, you know? I thought you were a little more logical than this. I didn't think you were this cold. That was a cool, like, expression shift. I don't know. Maho's words made him flinch. Something bad had happened to him. That's how it seemed to her. And it was easy to assume that it had something to do with Kurisu, so she decided to ask him what she hadn't gotten to earlier during the fuss this afternoon. You seem like you were hiding something about what happened to Kurisu. What I know doesn't matter. Maho could tell he wasn't going to share. If they hadn't been interrupted this afternoon, would he have told her? Anyway, what should we do with the computer? That computer isn't just something an old friend used to own anymore. I'm not gonna go back and see if I did that wrong. It's at the center of an international power struggle. What kind of crazy conspiracy theory is this? You still think it's a conspiracy theory after what happened today? You saw those foreigners in black suits, didn't you? Your office and your hotel room were ransacked. Someone set fire to Kurisu's house. And then after that, your lab was visited by mysterious men claiming to be from the FBI. The attack at the hotel might have had something to do with this, too. All these impossible events keep happening one after another. It's not a coincidence. But still, an international power struggle? The whole thing just seemed like too much of a stretch for her. Trying to connect every single event was a trap that conspiracy theorists often fell into. But in fact, most things that happened didn't really mean anything. When she began to tell him that, what he said next surprised her. John Teeter's prophecy is going to come true now. John Teeter? Maho had never heard that name before. A time traveler from the year 2036 who appeared on American message boards 10 years ago. I know for a fact that he's real. I've met him myself. John Teeter says World War III will occur in 2015. The cause will be a time machine. Are you making fun of me? I'm being very serious. You wanted to know about Dr. Nakabachi, right? He's Kurisu's father. It's possible that Kurisu may have been involved in the paper he wrote. What did you say? Maho had read Dr. Nakabachi's paper out of curiosity. Last summer, he'd proudly announced his paper on time travel to the entire world just before fleeing to Russia. The paper itself, however, was so poorly written that it was of no value whatsoever. She couldn't believe that Kurisu might have been involved in writing it. But what if his version was an inferior copy of an original that Kurisu wrote herself? What's inside Kurisu's computer doesn't actually matter right now. What matters is that there are people who want it. Give me a second, I need to process all of this. Could what Rintaro was saying be true? She took a moment to think. Normally, she wouldn't give something like this a second thought, but what had been happening around her lately just wasn't normal. She couldn't outright deny it. Besides, she was nursing a conspiracy theory of her own. I also thought that someone might be after this computer. But what you're saying is just so different than what I expected. What did you expect? I thought it might be about using Amadeus for military purposes. Military purposes? Kurisu spent a lot of time in the psychophysiology lab. She said sometimes she'd be visited by people who looked like they didn't belong there at all. She said she thought they were from the Department of Defense. Can Amadeus kill someone? How? Well, for example, you could take the memories of a veteran pilot and copy them and use them to control drones. And remember what I said about medical applications? You mean copying memory data back to the brain? Yeah. If you could alter memory data and send it back to the brain, you could make soldiers who didn't feel fear, who could carry out any kind of unethical mission without hesitation. My thought was that Kurisu had found proof that they were running experiments like that. I see. So I guess it's a matter of, like, it's probably both to some degree. Amadeus, and time travel. They're both really... We know time travel is, instrumental to the upcoming World War III, but Amadeus probably has some involvement too. Hey, the US military aren't involved in researching Amadeus, are they? Of course not. Are you sure? You're just a scientist. You're not the head of the project. Dr. Leskinen wouldn't let the military get involved either. You're right. All that happened in another world line. World line? What are you talking about? Yes. Tell her everything, Rintaro. No! No, forget it. I'm overthinking things. He hadn't seemed like he really meant that. And that really bothered her. She wanted to hear more about John Teeter, but he didn't tell her anything else. Since she couldn't crack the security on Kurisu's laptop and hard drive, it did Maho no good to carry them. And just like Rintaro said, those attackers scared her. So she decided she had no choice but to give them to him. He didn't tell her whether he was going to destroy them or not. Maho! Actually, I think we should take this. Blah, blah, blah. Actually, I think we should do this next time. So this was pretty intense. I'm really enjoying this game. I think this was just the right amount of drama and not too sad, you know? Because I was worried it would get super depressing, but instead I'm just more invested in this. Even though it's not silly at all. So, anyways guys, I've been Pogi, this has been Steins Gate 0, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!